So recently, I tried animating in Procreate Dreams too, as a complete beginner in animation. I've actually tried Procreate Dreams a few years ago, but I didn't like it. It was frustrating to use, in my humble opinion. But recently, they've updated it. Now there's lasso, transform, tons of brushes selection. It's a pretty big update. They even updated the logo. It kind of looks like an animation timeline now, doesn't it? My animation skill now, compared to when I first used Procreate Dreams, is pretty much the same, you know? It's non-existent. I have a quite short fuse when it comes to animating, but this is the new year and I strive to be more patient. Yes, let's start 2026 with the new year, new me bullshit. As I mentioned, in Procreate Dreams 2, they added tons of brushes selection, from sketching, inking, and bunch of textures. A lot of textures actually. You can use them to add cool effects and, well, textures to your animation. You can technically draw in Dreams, but I don't recommend it for drawing complex stuff like semi-realistic painting or something with tons of details because the drawing features are not as comprehensive as Procreate. But they have upgraded the selection tool. Now there's lasso tool and transform, so it's easier to make edits. I just realized the eyedropper tool is kinda wonky. Here, let me show you. Ay, my finger. Ew, my nails. Okay, sometimes the eyedropper tool doesn't pick the target that I wanted. See, it's picking white again. I wanted to pick red, but now it's picking red. I'm gonna pick blue, and it's picking white. But again, Dreams is not a drawing app. It's for animation, so the drawing features not being comprehensive is quite understandable. And they have added more features and brushes, so that's great, right? However, I prefer to draw in Procreate because it's easier and I have a one-sided codependent relationship with Liquify, which Dreams doesn't have. Today I'm painting and animating Flints. He has beautiful long hair, so I want to try animating that. I'm also adding angel wings. I know he's a fae and not an angel, but let's just pretend he's cosplaying as an angel for the sake of this video. It's been a while since I've drawn in Procreate, so I needed some time to get used to it again. I've been drawing in Ibis Paint for far too long, so it's kinda awkward to draw in Procreate. Anyway, my go-to brush in Procreate is the Blackburn brush. I use it for pretty much everything, from sketching to rendering. I combine it with the smudge tool. I'm not a fan of Ibis Paint smudge, but Procreate smudge is pretty good. Okay, I won't talk much about the painting, but I will upload the painting process in a membership video. Speaking of membership videos, I know this week I'm supposed to upload a membership video, but I apologize. I've been wanting to try Procreate Dreams 2 for a while now, so please wait for the new one after this. Alright, before we're moving to Dreams, it's better to separate the parts you want to animate. I will animate the hair, so I will separate it from the head. However, if you move the hair, the head will be affected. So you have to draw the whole bald head. Yes, tedious, I know. This is why I don't do animations. You can actually separate things in Dreams, but I think it's easier to just do it in Procreate. I might need to separate more stuff during animation, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Okay, now we can move on to Procreate Dreams. There are some animation samples you can check out and experiment with to get yourself familiar with the app. To make a new project, click on the plus sign and choose the dimension according to your preference. As you can see, there's flipbook and empty. Flipbook is basically to make hand-drawn animation where you draw the movement one by one. This version's flipbook is so much more user-friendly compared to the previous one. There are a lot more pages and you can easily move from one page to the other because the space is so much longer. You can also easily make longer duration for each page by elongating them. They've really improved the flipbook feature. It's more intuitive and user-friendly. It's amazing. And thanks to the additional brushes, you can make more detailed and complex drawings in it. In flipbook, you can also adjust the onion skin, which is the sequence before and after your current one. Alright, now I will show you how to export from Procreate to Dreams. First, create a new project, then split view on your iPad and open Procreate. Then drag the drawing to Dreams. And voila! it keeps all the layers intact. I will delete the layers that we don't need to animate and leave Flints into 5 separate parts: wings, hair on the back, bold flints, fringe shadow, and the top hair. However, in the animation mode, the drawing merged into one layer. No worries, just press on the timeline and click convert drawing layers to tracks, and now all the layers become tracks and you can animate it one by one. Easy, right? It's very seamless. I will start by animating the top hair, and I fucked up already. When I move the hair, there's a blank space between the fringe and Flints's cheek. So click on the red plus sign and add drawing below the top hair track. I will hide bold flints first by pressing the track and then track options and hide all. Okay, this is a bit of a hassle just to hide the track. I hope they can improve it in the next update. Hi, okay, yeah, I was an idiot. Turns out you don't have to do all that steps just to hide and show tracks. Okay, it's actually quite simple. Just click on the track and click on the little check mark next to edit drawing. There, it's that easy. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. Okay, back to the video. Let's add the lower layer of hair to fill up the empty space. I like using lighter colors for the inside of the hair, but you can use darker colors if you like. There are 2 ways to animate in Procreate Dreams. Well, 3 if you count the flipbook. But in this interface, there are 2 ways: perform and keyframe. Let's try them out with a ball so it's easier to see. In perform, any movement you do will be recorded. So when you play the animation, it will show exactly what you did. While keyframe is to add key movements. So for example, to move the ball from point A to point B, make a keyframe of the ball already at point B. Now play the animation and the ball will move by itself from point A to point B. If you want to make the ball do something else in the middle, just add another keyframe and repeat the previous steps. So to summarize, perform is kinda a freehand type of animation, while keyframe can be used for more controlled movements. Both perform and keyframe have move and filter. In move, there's move and scale to move and scale things. Warp is kinda like liquify but more controlled and restricted. I will use this a lot during the animating process. And distort is to distort things. In filters, there are effects you can add to the subject, like making it disappear, blur it, change the color, etc. Aside from that, you can also add more things to the timeline, like a flipbook animation, another drawing, you can add text, photo, video, etc. Now that we've covered the animation features, let's go back to Flints. By the way, there are other features in Dreams you can explore by yourself. I only talk about the ones I can comprehend as a complete beginner in animation, and also a lazy ass. I use perform for the whole animation because it's more freeing, and I use warp to move things around. The challenge is to keep the movement consistent with the other parts. For example, I have to make sure Flints's fringe and long hair move in the same direction. Oh, you know what would be cool? Liquify. Imagine if we can move things around with Liquify. Actually, we can do that in Procreate. How to animate with Liquify? I'm too lazy to talk, so I'll just scat some jazz. I cannot scat. And then adjust, and then just and that is how you animate with Liquify in Procreate. Warp is cool and all, but I feel like it's a bit restricting. Anyway, I also want to move the wings around, but I don't really know how wings work. I guess it would flap around like a bird's, right? So maybe just move it up and down and spread it, I guess. Okay, yes, I'm shit at animation. There is a reason why this is not an animation channel. Anyway, now I want to animate the body, kinda like his breathing or shrugging. But I just realized that every time I move his arm, his head also moves. So I have to separate Flintz's head from his body. That sounds decapitating, but it is actually pretty simple. Duplicate the bolt Flint's track, and in the bottom one, remove the head using the help of lasso tool, and remove the body in the top track. And to make sure there are no gaps when we move the head, we have to elongate the neck. Then we bring back the head. Oh shit, okay, the neck is out of place now. Well, no matter, we can still fix this with additional brushes from Procreate Dreams too. I wonder if I can import my usual Procreate brushes here. That will be very helpful. Oh, and I also separated the arm in front of his body for cleaner animation. I will just move it up and down, you know, like he's breathing. Alright, now I wanna move Flintz's head, so it looks like he's tilting it while keeping the movement of his hair. To do so, click on this icon, which looks like a snake trying to eat its own tail, and then just draw a circle to make a selection. Press on the selection and group them. And now we can move the head and hair together. Click perform, move, and scale. And here's how you rotate. Okay, click on the dot at the corner until you get a gray curved line. Use that to rotate the head. Can we also make the rotate function more visible? Please, I spent like 20 minutes trying to locate it and ended up googling it. Okay, now I wanna add more stuff. I'm in the zone. Let's add blue flames on his eye. I'm adding it directly in Dreams, and it seems that I cannot change the blending modes. That's weird. Oh, but you can change it in the tracks. Press on the track and click on the blend mode. Then pick any blending mode you like. Now I want to make the flame go from small to big as the animation plays. I'm going to use the keyframe for this for a more controlled movement. Click on the 3 dots and move the anchor so the flame grows from the inside. Make it smaller for the first keyframe and make it bigger on the second one. I'm going to play around with the opacity as well. By the way, you can also combine it with perform. I will make the flame wiggling around using warp, just moving it up and down. And here is the result. Okay, I actually added more stuff. I added a background and added some effects. The method is the same as what I showed you earlier. It's quite fun actually. It's really fun to animate when you have enough patience. Look at that! Fong actually animates something. So, Procreate Dreams 2. Is it any good? Is it beginner friendly? Well, considering a total noob with a short fuse like me can animate with it, I think it's pretty good. Yeah, this update is actually pretty good. They did a great job with it, and I especially love the flipbook and tons of additional brushes, the lasso as well, and I believe they also improved the user interface. It's more user friendly now. There are some things that can be improved, of course, like the rotate thing could be more obvious, and I wish there was liquify for moving the subject. Anyway, I like this update. I think it's pretty good. But let me know what you think. Do you like it? Have you tried Procreate Dreams? Are you planning to try it? It is, however, not free. It's one-time payment, but you know. Anyway, let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!